Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet three of the driving forces behind Spirit of the Law Ministries. They've been around since 1981, and they've been helping first responders and the military ever since. Their incredible journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, when I think about heroes, I don't think about basketball or football players. I think about first responders and the military, because they truly are heroes without capes. And some people are in the studio right now who have been serving this precious group since 1981. Think about that for a minute. That's 45 years. That's amazing. Joining us in studio, Ricky Jones, he's the founder and CEO. Will Barron, he is the chief technical officer. And Liz Mahoney, I'm just going to call you VP of everything. So, and we've been friends for a long time. Hello. So let's start with you, Ricky. You started this in 1981. You were a kind of a rookie deputy sheriff at the time in LA?
Yes, sir. So everybody, when they graduate the Sheriff's Academy, goes into county jail for 2 years. And while I was in the academy, I learned what the Spirit of the Law was, and it reminded me of what Christ said of the Good Samaritan. Just go and do likewise. And I saw it firsthand with Senior Deputy Ole Mayfield. And when people would come in, if they were drunk or they were out of place or they were pretty innocent, made a mistake, came to county jail, he was able to recognize that. And he would take them, put them in an isolation cell booking front, and give them coffee and a sandwich until they were able to go through the process without starting a fight or getting picked on or beat up. And some of the other people, he would just walk through the process himself and take them through individually to protect them. And I saw firsthand what Lance Harper, our drill instructor, was telling us about in the Spirit of the Law.
All right. Much more from you in a minute. Will, you joined in what year?
Officially last year.
Yeah.
But Ricky and I became very good friends on the set of Olympus Has Fallen. He was the technical advisor to the director there, and I was a stand-in for Gerard Butler for the entire 50-day shoot of that film. And he told me about the fact that he has the life rights to incredible true stories of both first responders and military that are seeking to have their story brought to life, both in feature films and also episodic television shows. So we've been working for many years on getting that moving forward. And also now I'm helping him and, of course, our companion here, Liz, in getting everything together for all the different Spirit of the Law events, including We Choose the Light, which we'll discuss with you later.
Yes. Okay. Staying with you for a minute, Will, what was it about Ricky's story that really caused you to say, I'm in?
First of all, the true absolute heroes that you rarely meet in the course of your life, first of all, are very soft-spoken. They don't need to throw their ego around or make boasts and claims of what they've done. And while working with him for 3 months straight on the set of Olympus Has Fallen, there were a lot of big, giant egos from the director on down to the stunt team. And the fact that he was always soft-spoken, and when you asked him a direct question, he always gave you the direct truth. So that right there established his integrity.
And Liz, you and I have known each other for a decade. You're absolutely brilliant.
Yes.
How did you join the team, and tell me what your role is?
Well, our mutual friend Kelly Roberts was like, there's this ministry, and I know you're big in ministry, so why don't you meet Ricky, meet the team, and see what you think? And I said, okay. It was a Thursday. It was after my daughter's piano lesson, so I had to bring her with me over to meet Ricky. And then his wife turned out to be Norwegian, and I grew up in North Norway, and so we all just hit it off. It was fantastic. I was like, I'd love to help you guys.
Wow. Yeah. Well, just before the show, Ricky, you were sharing a profound story about a woman who blew through some red lights. Yeah. Will you share that story with us?
So the same drill instructor I was talking about, Lance Harper, when he rotated out and he went out and patrol, there was a woman he saw blow a couple of red lights, and he saw children in the car. So he pulled her over, and she was just crying, and kids were making noise, and knowing Lance, he looked back, kids, one more word, I'm taking you to jail. They were dead silent. And he goes, ma'am, are you okay? And she told him the story. Her husband had left her, emptied the bank accounts, and she just didn't know what to do. She was numb. So we didn't have cell phones in. He called in to dispatch, said, call this number, tell them bring 2 people. The situation, she can't drive. And he stayed there to visit. They came and left. She wrote a letter to Sheriff Sherman Block soon after and said, I just want you to know what your deputy did for me. Instead of yelling at me, writing me up ticket, doing everything, he listened to me, saw that I was hurting. But just so you know, I was looking for a way to kill me and the kids because I didn't know I was going to survive this news today, and I knew no way out, and I thought death for me and the kids is the only way that this is going to end.
I got chills. Well, I hope you've written a book, or you should write a book, and it should be turned into a movie.
There's too many other people out there, sir. Their stories are amazing.
All right, we're going to show the website, and as we scroll down the website, in 45 years, Ricky, you've had a chance to serve a lot of people. I mean, that's a lot of law enforcement and first responder and military. What are some of your proudest moments over the last 45 years?
I think the proudest moments are the quality of people that took me under the wing and helped me be the man that I am. Started with my grandma, grandpa, my mother and father, my aunts and uncles and cousins that are older. But Lieutenant Dave Formansky, the SWAT commander of the Sheriff's Department, he saw the zeal, but he thought, well, I need to work with this young man. And I learned what it was like to help people. Law enforcement we're protecting the innocent from harm and evil, but also just to show up. And they taught me how to be a man, how to be truthful and faithful and stand by our morals and our values and don't waver from them. And then I had 2 wives that I had to bury to breast cancer. And both of them were godly women. And Rosie, my first wife, I mean, how she helped people till she died. Her kindness and love, it was an example. It's like, I have no excuses. And then Amelia, same thing. She helped people. They would feed the homeless and hungry. They did so many things to help other people, even sick.
Right. What strikes me about you is you're so soft-spoken and so servant leader heart. I see why God put this on you to start this ministry. Let's talk about the future. And I know, Will, you can jump on this. One of the reasons why you joined the team was because of what we just witnessed. I mean, he was almost in tears.
Yes. And, rarely do we really focus on military, veterans, and first responders in our society. And anybody that wears a uniform in those capacities, they volunteer for that service. And rarely do they get anything more than a pat on the back occasionally, if they're lucky. And so the ministry is directly focused on recognizing the challenges and the commitment and the fact that whether they're a first responder or military veteran, their family ends up serving with them and is on duty on call.
Yes.
So the entire family pays a price for that selflessness to keep society together as a protector. So Spirit of the Law Ministry, our ultimate primary function is to help protect our protectors.
We've got a video that we're going to roll, and we're going to talk over it. I know you have a project with Fort Hood right now.
Sir.
Ricky, do you want to share?
Yeah, so I work for the state of Texas as a regional director for the Texas Law Enforcement Peer Network, and working with other programs and our program as a resource. Suicide is down 84% first responders in the state of Texas. So I was doing research on Fort Hood and the military, and I saw that they led the nation in suicides every year, every month, 4 to 7. So I reached out to the military. I asked the state, I said, Dustin, the director, can I give this to the military? Same thing. He goes, yeah. So I took it to him, presented. And when we were done with the conversation of how that would work and look and process, they go, Rick, what do you think the real issue is right now? I said, well, you took Jesus out of the military. And Louis Kruger, the gentleman I was sitting around, I love this man. Talk about a great warrior and servant's heart. That's a full bird colonel. And he said, well, how do you think we can deal with that? And I said, well, let me bring some praise and worship in for a full day festival. He said, write it up. So Will got a hold of our attorney who served in the military. They wrote it up. They ran it through the process, and they gave us a 1-year MOU to bring the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Wow.
And now they want us to do a once-a-month block party. Colonel Jacob Snodgrass says, this is a thought I have. Can you guys help us with that?
Wow. I just got chills.
Do you remember doing the media for our old brain clinic for Dr. Brandon Brock, Hagen Randall, all those guys? So remember we were doing that study of 1,100 veterans that were wounded with TBI and PTSD. Out of the 1,100, almost 700 have taken their lives.
Oh, wow.
So that's the urgency that we feel. It used to be 22 to none. Now the number's 25. And if you include family members, spouses, and children that take their lives because they think they're a burden or no one's going to care for them, that number jumps to 44 a day.
Well, let's drill down a little deeper on that, because is there still a stigma attached to, raising your hand and saying,
yes,
I need help?
And we're finding with the Texas Law Enforcement Peer Network, when we educate officers, dispatchers, and jailers, because they're all first responders, that the stigma, that's from my days when I was on in the 80s. Because the guys that trained us were Vietnam veterans and Korean veterans.
Mm-hmm.
And that stigma existed, and they taught it to us. And it was because there was no educational tools when they left the military, and there was nothing for them to pass on to us. But through what we've learned and what we've researched, education about the stigma, to break the stigma, we're finding the greatest success, because we educate them on, this is what you're going through. This is what the mind does. This is how the body reacts.
Yes.
It's okay. You're not the only one. And we have other folks like David Spittler, that lived this, was let go, came back 2 years, and they hired him back.
Wow.
Because he got all the help. He came back as a better cop than when he first came on. So we're seeing that success by educating them, getting them the help, not throwing them out with the bathwater, but getting them that professional help. We're seeing greater success now than we ever have. And what I love about Dustin, he wants to take this nationwide. Texas is the only state in the nation that has a state peer network for every cop, dispatcher, and jailer. Only state in the nation. And he's working on a program to make this a nationwide program to help everyone.
Wow.
And
So-
I'm so sorry, Will.
That's our dream, is to be part of a team to create that ignition and provide the accelerant for a Protect Our Protector Solutions legislative bill to be introduced at the federal level, and to provide perhaps funds out of DHS so that there is a peer network in every state in the union, and it's federally funded, so it's not subject to budget issues with individual states and or local political control or fiefdoms.
Yes.
Because if we're not properly helping our protectors, our first responders, deal with the stress and the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual challenges, then they'll burn out. And all those years of experience that they've accumulated is lost by terminating their career as a first responder.
Yeah.
And that turnover is what's hurting us nationally,
Yes.
because you're not having a veteran that has 15, 20, 25 years in that profession being the leader of a team that's responding to a crisis.
Yes.
And that's what we're hoping that the POPS legislation, Protect Our Protectors Solutions legislation, could lead to.
And the number one question when I talk to chiefs or I talk to the military command is, what are you willing to do to save just one life? Just one. What are you personally, the one in charge, willing to do? And it's an honest question. I know cops like me will give everything we have. And we have. We've sold our homes to make sure cops, families of dead cops, are taken care of, murdered in the line of duty. So what are they willing to do in their positions of authority? If we can save one, why can't we save them all? Or at least attempt to.
All right, we have about 2 minutes left. I want to give Liz a chance to chime in, and then we're going to end with Ricky. So, Liz, Final thoughts.
I was just going to be practical and say that Ricky's actually found a way to use the Family Medical Leave Act to seal their records. Because the letter of the law is you made this mistake and you're going to be held accountable and we're going to punish you. But the spirit of the law is we forgive you, we have grace, we will help you, we'll be merciful. And FMLA allows them to seal their records so that if they got addicted to narcotics because they were working the narcotics beat, instead of them being punished for that when it was a part of their job, they're able to have their record sealed, go and get the treatment that they need, and then come back to duty with no besmirchment on their reputation.
Wow. So powerful. Okay, Ricky, you have the last word.
God's moving in the earth. I really want to see a revival in the military and law enforcement. And these kids, when they go in the military and they come in law enforcement, they shave their heads, put a uniform on them, say, you work when we tell you to work, you do what we tell you to do in the military, you eat when we tell you to eat, you go where we tell you to go. Their identities are taken. They teach them to kill. Law enforcement. We go to the range. What do we go to the range for? They teach us to kill. I'm a kid from Illinois, innocent kid. It changed me. Seeing how the world acts, having a resource. And also what we're planning to do is with the military law enforcement, we're going to go to the prisons too. We're going to take praise and worship. We choose a light to prison. Because I've seen enough people in jail. I don't want them to die there. They're still children of God. There's still hope. We want the success, what we're seeing in law enforcement, to come to even those that are in the prison.
Wow. Ricky, I can honestly say I've never met anybody like you. You're amazing, and what a blessing. Thank you for your servant leadership. And we're going to end with the website, which is spiritofthelaw.ministries.org. Thank you all for joining us. Appreciate you so much.
Thank you for having us, sir.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.